Okay, class, we're about to start lesson 10, part 2. It says simplifying polynomials with more than one variable. Some polynomials contain terms with different variables. For example, the binomial 2x plus 3y contains an x term and a y term. You add, subtract, and simplify polynomials with more than one variable, just as you do polynomials with just a single variable. However, you have to be careful to add and subtract only like terms. Remember that in all polynomials, like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. For example, in the polynomial x squared plus 2x plus y squared plus 3x plus 2y, the only like terms are the two x terms. Now they got x to the first, but we know when there's no exponent shown on the variable, it's assumed to be a 1. So that's why they put x to the 1 term. You can combine the 2x and the 3x, but you cannot combine x squared with any other term, nor can you combine the y squared or the 2y with any other term. The most simplified version of the polynomial is x squared plus 5x plus y squared plus 2y. A term that consists of two or more variables multiplied together cannot be combined with terms that can contain only one of those variables. For example, you cannot combine 2xy plus 7x. However, you can combine 2xy plus 7xy to get 9xy. Okay, so now I'm going to skip over this example 1 because like I said, we're going to get to this. And it's basically right here, adding polynomials with more than one variable and subtracting polynomials with more than one variable is basically the same thing we covered earlier, where if you have a plus in front of the parenthesis behind the plus, nothing changes. But if you have a minus, you take the opposite sign of everything, all of the terms, in the second parenthesis. So now we're going to move on to the next page. So what I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to do about 2 to 3 from each one of these, this A, B, and C, and then I'll see if we need to do D. So let's look at A. A, it says simplify the following polynomials. Okay, I'm going to start with problem number, let's go with problem number 2. Problem number 2, we have x plus 3xy plus y plus 16 minus 5x minus 4xy. Now, we would try and see what we have as a like term. We only have an x. X doesn't have, oh yeah, x and a negative 5x are like terms. So this should be a negative 4x. Yeah, that was my mistake. So this would be a negative 4x. Now we look at the xy. 3xy and negative 4xy, those are like terms. And that will give you a negative xy. And then y and 16 has no like terms, so you will put plus y plus 16. So your answer here again is negative 4x minus xy plus y plus 16. All right, now, the next number, let's look at problem 6. Problem number 6, we have 19 xyz plus x minus y plus 3xyz plus 6 plus y. So 19 xyz and 3xyz are like terms, and that'll give you 22 xyz. And then we have no like term for the x, but we do have a like term for the y. Negative y plus y, they simplify each other out to 0, and you'll be left with the plus 6. So that is your final answer for problem number 6. Okay, now, and last but not least from this section, I think I want to do number 8. Number 8, we have P plus PQ minus Q minus P plus 3PQ minus 3 minus q plus 7. All right, so let's look for all p's. We had two p's. P minus p, they would simplify each other out. So now we look at PQ. PQ and 3PQ are like terms, so that's 4PQ. Now we got negative Q and negative Q, which would be a negative 2Q. Now we got negative 3 plus 7, which would be positive 4. And that is your answer for problem number 8. All right, next. Let me dive right into this. I want to do number 10. Number 10, we have x squared plus xy minus y minus 3 plus parenthesis negative x squared minus xy plus y plus 3. Okay, now, with this first parenthesis, they have nothing in common, so you bring it down as is without the parenthesis. And then you have plus this parenthesis here, so you write everything as is, so it'd be negative x squared minus xy plus y plus 3. So now we have x squared minus x squared. These simplify each other out. Now you add xy and negative xy. These simplify each other out. You add negative y and positive y. These simplify each other out. And then you add negative 3 and positive 3. They simplify each other out. Now when everything simplifies each other out, the answer is just 0. So number 10 is just 0. Okay, now we go to problem number, I think problem 14 is a good one. Problem 14. We have 4xyz plus 4x minus 4y plus 6xyz minus 4x minus 4y plus 16. We keep the first parenthesis the same. So you have 4xyz plus 4x minus 4y. Then plus this parenthesis here, so everything stays the same. So it's plus 6xyz minus 4x minus 4y plus 16. Now 4xyz, 6xyz are like terms, so that's 10xyz. 4x minus 4x, these simplify each other out. Negative 4y and negative 4y is a negative 8y. And then 16 is by itself, so you bring it down. This is the final answer for problem 14. All right, that basically covers just about everything that you need to know for B. So now we go down here to C. With C, let's start at problem number 19. Problem 19. We have p squared plus q squared plus 14 minus parenthesis 3p squared minus 4q squared plus 7. Now, we keep the first parenthesis the same, 4p squared plus q squared plus 14, as they had no like terms. And since we have a minus sign in front of this parenthesis, we change each one of their signs. So it's a negative 3p squared plus 4q squared minus 7. Now we combine like terms. P squared minus 3p squared is a negative 2p squared. Q squared plus 4q squared is positive 5q squared. 14 minus 7 is positive 7. And that took care of problem 19. Now the next problem, I think I want to do 23. 23, we have c cubed d to the 7th plus c squared minus d plus 35 minus 2c squared minus 3d plus 35. First parenthesis is no like term, so we'll bring it down as is without the parenthesis. Second parenthesis, we have this minus sign in front, and remember they don't have anything in common, so we didn't have to combine anything, so we just changed the sign of everything. So it becomes minus 2c squared plus 3d minus 35. Now, there's only one c to the 3rd power d to the 7th. There's nothing that it can combine with. Now we have c squared minus 2c squared, which is a minus c squared. Now we add negative d plus 3d, which would be a positive 2d. 35 minus 35 simplifies out to 0. So this right here would be your answer. It would be c to the 3rd, d to the 7th minus c squared plus 2d. All right, now we scroll down here. We have 25 and 26. So basically it says choose the one best answer to each question. Basically it's just two of the same type of problems we just have to do and figure out which one of these equal to it. So let's go to 25. We have x plus y plus z minus a negative 2x plus 2y plus z. All right, so first parenthesis, you can't combine anything. You'll bring it down as is without the parenthesis. Second parenthesis, you have a minus sign in front, so you have to change the sign of everything in this parenthesis. So negative 2x becomes positive 2x. Positive 2y becomes a negative 2y, and positive z becomes a minus z. So we combine like terms. X plus 2x is 3x. Y minus 2y is negative y. Z minus z, they simplify each other out to 0. So it'd be 3x minus y, which is d. So the letter we would pick is D. All right, so now we go to 26. We have 2g squared plus 3h minus 5k plus g squared plus 2h plus 3k. So it's nothing that could be combined in either parenthesis. So first parenthesis, we'll drop everything and drop the parenthesis and write everything as is. So you had 2g squared plus 3h minus 5k. You have a plus sign in front of this parenthesis, so you keep everything as is without the parenthesis. Now we combine like terms. 2g squared and g squared is 3g squared. 3h and 2h is 5h. Negative 5k and a positive 3k is a negative 2k. So we look here, we add 3g to the second plus 5h minus 2k, and that is B. And this concludes the last part of lesson 10. I will upload this to YouTube. Have a wonderful day.